Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? You have Zell here for the Phenomenal Wrestling Podcast, and it is just Zell, just me. I'm by myself doing this. I'm gonna jump into the Smackdown review on my own. Nell's gonna be doing his own thing, but we do have a few announcements to make about a lot that's been going on here. First off, we took off last week for Thanksgiving. On top of that, it was a pretty bad week, so it just I felt like it worked and it was appropriate. And I hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving, whether you celebrate or not. I hope everyone had a good day in general. And so on to what's been going on here. We've had a lot of shakeups and changes going on, and the fact that we are now a two-man team. It will from now on just be Nelson and I. Eric has chosen to leave the podcast for personal undisclosed reasons, and that's his choice. Got nothing to do with us. So Nelson and I are going to be changing the format. This is a last minute situational for this week, and we're just kind of working with what we can. And so that's why I'm here on my own, and Nell will be there on his own for this week. For the most part, shut up, computer. For this week, for the most part, we're going to be covering SmackDown, NXT, and he'll dabble in NXT UK a little bit too. Raw, we're just not even going to touch that, not in the slightest, because no, it was no. So now that that's all settled out of the way, which we will give you more details next time we get together on how the format will be changing and whatnot, we can jump right on into SmackDown Live. SmackDown Live did open up with Paige in the ring welcoming everybody, and she introduced the return of Becky Lynch as was advertised. And Becky's chants were way up there. Her new Tron, actually, was pretty cool, all about the man. And then, when Becky's soaking it in, Becky said, she showed up to Raw, she fought, she won, she showed up to SmackDown to fight, she showed up to Survivor Series to fight, but everyone stopped her and she's not getting stopped anymore. She also said when you're the hottest thing in the business, any time away is too long, even though she missed a week. But still, she's not wrong. She talked about everything that went down, and then she called out Charlotte Flair for her fight with Ronda Rousey. Charlotte came up and they brought up again that Charlotte had been fined $100,000 by Paige for touching referees. Okay. Of course, all of the Becky chants were ridiculous, and the Woo chants were in there, but not as loud as the Becky chants. Becky told her that if it was her, Ronnie wouldn't be standing the next night, and that Charlotte didn't know who she was, because Charlotte channeled her inner Becky to bring on that beating. Charlotte went on to say she's a 7-time women's champion, and she's the only one capable of giving Ronda Rousey the beating that she deserved. And Flair was capable because she is genetically superior. Flair will do anything to get the job done. And Becky says that she went from copying her old man to copying her. Charlotte came back saying that Becky's the one copying her dad, and tells Ronda that she'll be at TLC. She was born ready. The queen stands out in a crowd. Long story short, this led to Paige making a match for TLC against the Women's Championship match in a TLC. Too many TLCs. It'll be Charlotte and Becky in a TLC match. Paige hasn't seen this fire from Charlotte in a long time. There you have the most fire in all of the women's division, which brought out Mandy Rose, along with Sonya Deville, Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, and Zelina Vega, because apparently Mandy and Sonya are okay now. Mandy says that Paige left Absolution in the dust and she favors her PCB teammates, which Mandy's really not wrong because Charlotte and Becky are getting all of the opportunities. Well, Becky's champ. Charlotte it's just been them two, essentially. But then again, they haven't really built up any more women. It's kind of been a 2-woman division when I think every woman on that roster is capable of doing something great, to be honest. So then, Naomi comes out along with Carmella, Asuka, and Lana, because Lana is officially a face. And Naomi agrees and questions Paige for questioning her desire. So Paige makes a battle royal, and the winner jumps into the TLC match. and making it a triple threat, which I thought it was funny that Becky said, after Naomi, Becky said, well, stand up in a line and I'll punch you all in the face one at a time. And you can hear Charlotte in the background, too, kind of saying, like, oh, watch out, don't get punched in the face, Becky, calling on that Nia heat. But that segment came to an end, and then we had an an Uso promo in the back saying that they're the true team on SmackDown because they got the one in 6-1, because it is 6-1. It wasn't a clean sweep. So they make their entrance because they're fighting in the bar. The Usos in the bar put on great match. Great match. Of course they do, because it's the Uso in the bar. Really good TV match. Really believable near falls. The match came to a head, which also, by the way, almost forgot. Backstage, they showed a segment earlier with Cesaro, Sheamus, and Big Show, and them yelling at Big Show for not helping them last week because Big Show, quote unquote, took a nap on the table. Cesaro pulled Big Show's singlet straps. Big Show got annoyed and just punched Cesaro in the face and left, and Sheamus said, we're better off without you. So now it is just Cesaro and Sheamus. Cesaro with a really messed up job because he's favoring it against the Usos. And like I said, really good match, great sequences. The match came to a head when, which Uso was it? They're twins. So, Jimmy got the tag. Was it Jimmy? Yeah, it was Jimmy. It was Jay? Jimmy? One Uso got the tag after Cesaro missed a corner splash, hit the super kick, the other Uso tagged back in and hit the splash, and the Usos got the pinfall after 10 minutes. Whichever Uso it was. Then the New Day were showing in the locker room on their cell phones, and The Miz came in talking about how they were watching The Marine because they were laughing at The Miz. And The Miz talking about watching The Marine, what's your favorite part? And the New Day says, we're not watching The Marine starring Becky Lynch, we're watching your tag match from last week. Miz gets mad, and he says, I'm going to talk to my co-bestie and get a match against one of you tonight. And as they leave, Big E does say something about the Marine's main character, Jake Carter, and there I'll just call him a closet Mariner, because apparently Mariners are what fans of the Marine are called. And Big E's just kind of like, and runs away. This then leads to us getting our segment from AJ Styles, his return since losing to Daniel Bryan. And AJ says nobody likes to lose. Everyone knows he hates to lose. But it's not about the fact that he lost the title. It's about what happened after that and how he lost the title. It's about that Daniel Bryan kicked him in the balls, because everyone hits AJ in the balls, and then proceeded to stomp his face until AJ wasn't cleared to show up at Survivor Series or last week's Smackdown. He then reviews Daniel Bryan's response from last week, saying it sounds like a load of crap. And Daniel Bryan will get his receipt at TLC. Pretty much it. Pretty decent promo. Styles had a lot of energy in it. And it's this feud with him and Daniel Bryan, I hope it continues, because those two can really do some work together if they're allowed to. We then got Shinsuke Nakamura making his way to the ring to face off against Rusev. When Rusev made his way into the ring, Shinsuke kicked him in the back of the head, beat him up a little bit, the match got thrown out. Shinsuke Kinshasa'd him, went outside, Kinshasa'd him again, Shinsuke left. I really don't get what they're doing with Shinsuke. I really don't. There's no sense to it. It's a waste. They could really run with this Knock America gimmick and make him such a dangerous competitor because of his strikes, but they just don't. We then got the Jeff Hardy 20-year celebration. Jeff Hardy signed his contract with WWE 20 years ago to the day, and it's his anniversary, his 20-year anniversary of being with the company, implying he's been with the company the entire 20 years. They had a video package after welcoming Jeff Hardy out, which Michael Cole did, and they had a lot of the superstars standing on top of the ramp, which you could notice. Big E took one of the iconic shirts and put it over his. It's pretty interesting. Which I also want to go back on something. The Tron work, for some reason, was terrible. When Rusev was making his way to the ring, it still had Shinsuke's ribbon on the Tron, and the Usos, the beginning for their Tron video, not the ribbon, the Tron video, it was still just the Smackdown logo. When the bar came out, you could see the screen in the middle of the arena. It still had the Uso logo on it. So whoever worked the Trons this week was just But anyway, they showed a really good packaged video for Jeff Hardy's 20 years. It was great. It was amazing. And Jeff thanks them all, and he said, I can't believe I did some of that stuff. What was wrong with me? The fans are chanting, thank you, Hardy. He thanks his wife, his 2 daughters, and he says it's far from a retirement speech. But then Samoa Joe's music hits, and you know Samoa Joe with a microphone is deadly. Joe says that he was just in the back popping bottles of champagne ready to have a toast, but it might not be the best idea to have Jeff around some champagne, clearly calling back to his drinking issues. Shane got in Joe's face to stop him, and Jeff said, no, let him talk. Like, what does he have to say? And Joe thanks, the WWE for the wonderful package, considering that at the time Jeff wasn't coherent enough to remember any of it anyway. And I'm just sitting here like, ooh. Joe and Jeff, okay. And I assumed they might pull something and talk about the Victory Road incident. I assumed he might go there, but he didn't. Jeff makes some delete chants with Joe, and Jeff says, if you want to fight, we can fight right now. And Joe's just like, nah, I'm going to do that heel thing where I walk to the ring and I just leave. That was a segment. Joe is magic on the microphone, as we all know. Can't argue with Samoa Joe. We then got The Miz versus Kofi Kingston, which apparently is their first match, singles match, since 2013. I really have to think about this because I feel like they've had a singles match before. Because didn't he go through facing one member of the New Day each week back at Money in the Bank? Oh well. These two put on a pretty decent match. We have the distractions from the outside from Big E and Xavier. Obviously not, physically distracting him, but just being annoying like the New Day do. They put up an alright match. Miz went to go get a steel chair. Woods pulled the chair away from him as he got in the ring. He turned around into a Trouble Paradise. 1, 2, 3. Kofi gets the win. We then get to hear from Randall Orton. Randy comes out and he says, people will say the things I do are dastardly, disgusting. I would call it euphoric. Holding on to Rey Mysterio's mask, keep in mind. Randy said it's not about his heritage. He doesn't care about the history of the mask. He didn't mean to disrespect the culture. He just wanted to embarrass and humiliate Rey Mysterio. Orton wants to take Rey down from the pedestal that the fans have him on because that's his new gimmick now. And then Rey's just another of Randy's victims. But guess what? Here comes Rey Mysterio with a neck brace. The two scuffle on the outside, but Randy ends up getting the upper hand. Well, Rey hits 2 619s, and now I'm thinking, how did Randy get the upper hand again after Rey hit 2 619s? That's right, Rey went to get a chair, and Randy grabbed him as he was coming in and hit him with a draping DDT. He whipped him back first into the barricade. He got a chair, put it against Mysterio's throat, and smashed him onto the steel steps. That cringe-looking spot. And it looks like he's going back to try to get him again, but the security and the refs pull him away, and that's the end of that. And there was a little clip backstage where Shane McMahon is confronted by The Miz, asking where he was, saying, I'm trying to make this team work, but I can't do it on my own. And then he looks at the trophy, Shane's talking, and Miz is ignoring him, and he's like, of course I'm ignoring you, look at our neglected trophy. I can't be the only good parent in this relationship. And it was a pretty funny kind of segment. The Miz is actually pretty good comedically, and Shane can be thrown in the right moments. Of course, when The Miz leaves, Shane just goes a little, wow. But it can be overdone. If they run this into the ground, it'll be upset. But this is a really good pace for it right now. We then got our main event, the women's battle royal to earn a spot in the Money in the Bank in the TLC match between Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, and it is every woman on the SmackDown roster: Zelina Vega, Lana, the Iconics, Naomi, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville. I'm missing women. I'm missing women. I am missing so many women. Alright, you're going to try this again. Zelina Vega, Lana, Peyton Royce, Billie Kay, Carmella, one that I was missing, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Naomi, and Asuka. Because there's a lot. Yep, Naomi and Asuka. And when you really think about it, there's only one woman of all these women that you could throw into a TLC match and make it, oh shit. And it's not Mandy Rose. It's not the Iconics. No, it is Asuka, and they made the right choice of Asuka winning. Hopefully this is the start to build Asuka back up, because Asuka deserves to be at the tip top, honestly. She was so destructive at NXT. Even when she was on Raw for a little bit, they protected her so well. But once she lost to WrestleMania, that was the end of her dominance. And she's not looked the best since then. Hopefully this is a start. I mean, I expect Becky to still keep the title, but hopefully this is a start for that. But now this also brings in other questions, considering the Mixed Match Challenge. The teams left are Charlotte Flair and Jeff Hardy, who Charlotte Flair has a women's title match. The Miz and Asuka, which Asuka has a women's titles match. Carmella and R-Truth. And who's the fourth team? Carmella and R-Truth. And, well, that's from the SmackDown side of things, because SmackDown will figure out their finals brackets next week, I believe it is. But it is, on the Raw side, it's Bobby Lashley and Mickie James. No, Finn Balor. Alright, I'm going to get this right now. It's Finn Balor and Bayley versus Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox. The winner will go on to TLC. And then it's Jeff Hardy and Charlotte Flair, which, like I said, Charlotte has a title match. R-Truth and Carmella, which neither of them are doing anything. Miz and Asuka, who Asuka has a title match. Jimmy and Naomi, that's a team I forgot. So it really does an interesting dynamic, because like we said, the winners get the number 30 spot in the Royal Rumble, but you gotta think, it's not going to be Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox. Not in the slightest. It could be Finn and Bayley. It could be R-Truth and Carmella. No, it couldn't be. It could be Jimmy and Naomi. But I think the most likely pairing here is Finn and Bayley. But at the same time, they don't do anything with Finn and Bayley, so it leads to a lot of confusion and a lot of problems. Overall, I think this was a good SmackDown for setting up everything to come for now till the Royal Rumble, because I believe that Becky's going to go on to hopefully have a singles match with Asuka at the Rumble, because that would be great. I want AJ and Daniel to keep going. It looks like Rusev is going to feud with Shinsuke for the US title, and the tag picture just keeps developing more, since the Bar lost to the New Day last week and the Usos this week. And we'll just have to see how that plays out. This could be nice, but they could ruin it, because of course. And that wraps it up for the SmackDown review. You have me, myself, and I, Zell, here. And like I said, we'll get to you with the changes and how this is going to go, because it's kind of a sudden thing, like I said, that we're trying to figure out. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Like, share, subscribe, the whole nine. And we will catch you all next week.